We're on the record in cause number 326200. The case is style of State of Texas versus Lonnie James. Is that Cormier or Cormier? Cormier, okay. The case is style of State of Texas versus Lonnie James Cormier Jr. Mr. Cormier, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cormier, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Cormier? I'm doing fine. Mr. Cormier, the information alleges that on or about February 14th of 2020, while you in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an open container. Mr. Cormier, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Your Honor.
Okay, let me do this here. Now, Mr. Cormier, I have before me, well, let me do this here. Now, are you plead no contest, is that correct?
Yes,
And you plead no contest freely and voluntarily?
yes,
And you plead no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges, is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cormier, I have before me what is marked as State's Exhibit number 1. And I'm making a change on this here document. Okay, now Mr. Lane
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Cormier, this is a Class B misdemeanor, but it's because it's DWI with an open container.
Yes, Your Honor.
The minimum is 6 days instead of 72 hours. So I just initialed next to what I scratched out, the 72 hours.
No objection, Your
No
Honor.
objection,
You're
okay.
correct.
Now, Mr. Cormier, I have before me what is marked as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Cormier, are these your initials on line 2 that says no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on page 3 of the same document, Mr. Cormier, is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, which is a trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature above the line that says defendant? And I also have, there are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box says that that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
second box says that you are waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, I have another document here. This document is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Lane, go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibits number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Let's see. State, will you also be offering State's Exhibit number 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
Okay, no objection. States exhibit number 1 and states exhibit number 2 will be admitted. Mr. Lane, you've advised and counsel Mr. Cormier, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cormier, your attorney, Mr. Lane, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Cormier, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that your plea of no contest and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is offering 180 days probated over 18 months, a fine of $850 plus court costs, 60 hours of community service and DWI standard.
Okay, Mr. Cormier, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in the case because you'll be placed on probation for 18 months. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $850 plus court costs, which comes to a total of $1,272. And you'll be required to pay a probation fee each month of $60 and a urinalysis fee each month of $15. You will also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. And you will also be required, if a further evaluation is needed, you'll be required to pay $50 each month. Now, this comes to a total each month of $150. Would you be able to pay the $150 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Cormier, you'll be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend the DWI education class and alcohol assessment. And you would also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. Do you understand the state's offer, Mr. Cormier?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Cormier, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Cormier, you can stand on the mark on the floor next to your attorney. And once you finish at the window with the clerk, you'll be free to go and you and